Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Book Club Preview Writing Edition. Today we're looking at Unit 8, and this unit is really big. I think it's like 27 pages, so we're going to break it down into 3 sections, but that's still quite a few pages to run through. Well, first, let's look at descriptive paragraphs. That's our goal for this unit, is to just learn how to write and identify a descriptive paragraph. We're also going to look at some language focus as usual, learning how to use adjectives, learning about denotations and connotations, which when we talk about vocabulary, a lot of times I'll talk about connotations, which we'll get to that later. But then we're also going to look at these aspects of a descriptive paragraph. So a descriptive paragraph, it describes something. It tells you what something looks like, feels like, smells like. It's the last one here, creates a sensory image, but also gives you an impression, kind of a deeper understanding of, okay, yeah, I can understand that, or I can feel that, or imagine that. And it kind of gives a visual to show the reader what one is talking about. And then, of course, I already mentioned it gives a sensory image, right? Describing a taste or how something looks or how something feels. It has a sense around it. And we're going to just practice how to craft a really descriptive paragraph. So one of the best ways to learn how to write a descriptive paragraph is by looking at examples, like many of these other paragraphs we're looking at. And so looking at a paragraph just starts off, it's not even an activity. It just says, hey, read this paragraph. It's about a samovar. Not actually sure how to pronounce that. But as you read this paragraph, you're going to see and notice how this author describes this activity and thing, and the way that they use the descriptions. And at the bottom of the page, it kind of goes through the five senses. Sight, I'm going to look at them here, that way I don't get them in order. Sight, taste, touch, hearing, and smell. Some people talk about a sixth sense, which is different from these, but we'll just focus on these five. As you looking at this paragraph, you can see different examples. Okay, example 1, they talk about a sunset, chocolate, silk, cry, perfume, things like that. And what the book wants you to do is write another example of a sight or a smell or a taste or a feeling, right? Give an example of something like that. For example here, something you can see. A sunset. You can see a sunset. You could do a sunrise. Okay, just the opposite. Don't do the sunrise. Pick something else that you can see and describe visually, and then go through the rest of the list. The next two activities are related directly to this. So if we look at activity 1, it starts off with those different senses that you looked at. So for me, it said sunset and I chose sunrise. So I'm going to start with sunrise. Okay, that's my example number 1. I'm going to write that down in the example. Then I'm going to describe a sunrise. I'm going to talk about the colors. I could even talk about the feeling of the sun rays on my body. I'm going to just write down some description words for that. And then for activity 2, I'm going to use those description words and that example, and I'm going to write a sentence. So, for example, number 1, I would say something like, a sunrise is like a fiery ball rising up out of the dark sky, sending rays of warmth, delighting one's skin. Okay, something like that. That wasn't my best sentence, but it kind of gives you a sense of a description. A simple one, you can say, right, the beautiful red sun rose in the east and warmed my cold skin. Okay, that's a very simple sentence. I was trying to get too flowery, I think, on that one. Too magical, too majestic. But just write an example, okay? It doesn't have to be amazing, but practice describing those different things you talked about that you wrote already in page 136. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Let's continue on. If it doesn't make sense, just send me a message and I'll explain it a little bit more, okay? Don't be afraid to ask questions. Activity 3, and this one's pretty general. So we're going to look at 3 different example paragraphs of descriptions and how they describe different things. So first of all, before you read, it has some questions for you. So don't read the paragraph yet, but look at these questions, think about them. If you want, you can write some notes about that, because we might have the chance to just kind of talk about your ideas and feelings before you read the paragraph. And then, of course, read the paragraph. Wonderful, great job. And then answer the questions about the paragraph. Now, these questions are going to be directed towards description, senses, feelings, and impressions, things like that. But answer the best you can. And your answers will be different. And so we're going to go through 3 of these. So, page 138, page 140, same thing. And page 142 is the last one. So ending this video, and we're going to stop here at page 143. I know it's a lot of pages, but we'll do with what we can, however far we get. Adjectives. And this is the real key to descriptive paragraphs. Adjectives. And the book says here, adjectives are like spices in food. They offer different flavors and senses and tastes to a dish. Can you imagine eating like some bread or a cracker? Can you imagine eating a cracker without a little salt on it? Oh, that would be so dry, right? Can you imagine, eating a cake without any sugar? Man, that would be weird, right? We need some different things to add flavor to it. And that's what adjectives do to our writing. So an adjective is a word that describes a noun, okay? Beautiful, tall, long, purple, right? These are describing nouns. And they usually answer one of these 4 questions. Which one, what kind, how many, and how much. When I was teaching in universities, I would always ask my students to describe the word that they, what's that word in English? I don't know what it is. I don't say, hey, that's okay if you don't remember the perfect word. Describe the word, or describe the action the word takes place, because usually it would be a noun or a verb. And so you can describe this. And so, I would challenge my students to do that. Most of them would give up and just use a dictionary, but many would try to describe, what's that? What's that called? You wear it on your face. It helps you see. Do you mean glasses? Oh yeah, glasses. See, when you describe the word, when you forget it, it helps you remember it so much more than when you just search in a dictionary or, Google the word in your native language. When you go through that struggle of trying to remember it and you try to describe it, and then someone helps you, even though you might feel embarrassed or unsure, that activity is actually helping your brain to recall and remember that English. So it's so important for you to do that. But going back to adjectives here, adjectives are important because they offer that flavor to your sentence. And I really want to look at the example that the book gives here because I love it so much. And it gives 2 examples. Here's a sentence without adjectives. The bride walked down the aisle to meet her groom. Okay. That's very informative, but it's not very descriptive. Let's check it out again. The tall, graceful bride in her white dress walked down the long aisle to meet her proud groom. oh, okay. Now we can kind of imagine this picture of this beautiful, graceful woman walking down an aisle, and this man is just like, no, I got this woman, I'm gonna marry her, I'm so excited. Right? It paints a flavor for us to see that. And as we're writing descriptive paragraphs, we really want to be sensitive about using adjectives. Now, we don't want to make it too much, but that spice is very important. And we're going to practice that and hopefully master it by the end of this unit. That is all the time that we have for today, but thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.